Hips width distance apart. Slight bend in the knees, just so you're not locking them out. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and then roll the shoulders down the back, standing up nice and tall. And then allow the eyes to close. And from here, bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And then just focus on your natural inhales and exhales. Allow the flow of breath to be easy as it comes in and out through the nose. And when you feel like you've connected with your natural inhales and exhales, start to make the breath just a little bit deeper. As you inhale through the nose, send the breath all the way down to the belly. Fill the belly up, pushing that hand out with your breath. And as you exhale, pull the belly back to the spine, breath back out through the nose. So take a few more of those deep belly breaths at your own pace. Inhale through the nose, send the breath down to the belly. And as you exhale, pull the belly back to the spine and back out through the nose. Make the next inhale your deepest one yet. And as your belly fills up, hold it out in its fullest expression for just a moment. And then pull the belly once again back to the spine, breath back out through the nose. From here, return to your natural inhales and exhales. And we'll start with a body scan here. So today's initial part of practice is really going to be about connecting with the body. So as we're doing a lot more sitting and being stagnant, let's just see what's going on in our physical body today. So starting with the toes, maybe giving them a little wiggle, and then pressing all 10 toes down into your mat, pressing the soles into the mat. Moving up to the calves and shins, to the knees, to the thighs, both front and back. Just noticing the body and any sensations that you might be feeling. Bring the attention to the pelvis, the hips, and the glutes. Up through the belly, lower back, into the heart space and upper back, the shoulders, upper arms, forearms, hands and fingertips. And then bring attention to the neck and throat, the jaw, cheeks, eyeballs in your eye sockets, ears, and finally the crown of the head. And identifying any space that you might be holding on to any stress or tension. And you can even bring your hands to that part of your body, wherever it might be. And we're going to start a little tapping sequence here. So you can flutter the eyes open and bring the hands gently down to the side. So if you're not feeling any tension in the body, congratulations. Maybe you're feeling some stress in another spot in your life. So we're actually going to invite that stress, whether it's physical or mental, into the mind right now. And we're going to start this tapping sequence that helps us break that cycle of fight or flight. So as we tap different parts of the body, we're retraining the body that that stress is not immediate. We are safe and we are at peace in this very moment. So invite that stress in for a moment. And then with your fingertips, gently begin to tap in between your third eye center. So in that spot that's right in between the eyebrows. Just gentle tapping here. I am safe and I am at peace. And then tap the outer corners of both eyes. So not the temples, but the corners. I am safe, I am at peace. Moving down to right below the nose. Gently tapping, I am safe, I am at peace. And finally, on the face, right in that chin crease, just one hand gently tapping, I am safe, I am at peace. And coming down to the collarbones. So find your collarbones, tapping in and out, maybe a little bit around the collarbones, loosening up the heart area. I am safe, I am at peace. I like to spend a little extra time here. We hold a lot of tension around that heart space. And then raise the right arm at about where your brow line is, or about 3 inches below your armpit, tapping right under there. I am safe, I am at peace. Feeling that reverberation through the body. And moving to the other side. I am safe, I am at peace. And finally, up to the crown of the head, maybe looking a little bit like a monkey here. I am safe, I am at peace. Then you can sweep the arms up and overhead and down by the side. Just reconnecting, coming to presence in this moment. And we'll start with some just body isolations here. I'm going to turn my music back on. But just start by rolling through the toes, pointing and flexing, maybe giving a little roll to the ankles, starting with the very root of the body. And you can take some knee bends as we move up, maybe sweeping the knees out to the side. And as we move into the hips, you can bend through the knees and just begin to rock the hips from side to side. Slowly loosening up and staying connected with each part of the body. And then rock the hips forward and back, tucking and untucking the pelvis. We'll spend a little extra time in the hip area, since that is also another place where women especially begin to hold a lot of tension and emotion. Begin to take those hips in a circle over toward the left. Make this really exaggerated or really shallow, whatever your body is calling for. And then switch those circles over to the right. Slowly coming back to center, back to stillness. Take the arms out to a T, flip the palms toward the front, keeping that gentle bend in the knees. And then just begin to take some movement in the center of the body. So sweeping those ribs from side to side. Maybe taking some circles. And if you're taking circles, take them the other way. Come back to center. Sweep the arms down by the side and take some shoulder shrugs, shrugging the shoulders all the way up to the ears and really holding there before you roll the shoulders back down the back. Hug the shoulders up and down the back. One more, up, hugging those shoulder blades together, and then just take them to the front, hugging the shoulders up and then forward. And coming back to stillness, focusing on the neck, drop the cheek over toward the left shoulder. Drop the chin down toward the center of the chest and sweep the cheek up toward the right shoulder. Continuing back through center, just take a few of these half circles from side to side. The next time you come back through center, raise the head up. And then begin to shake through the wrists. So get the blood moving in the hands. Really shake them out all directions. Get the circulation going. And then maybe through the ankles, flick the toes. And then start to move the whole body, shake the head, move the arms up and down, go high and low. Feel free to be really silly here. Nobody can see you, even if your video's on. They can't really see you. So, take a couple more flicks of the wrist, rock the head, move the hips and shoulders. And then slow down whatever movement you're doing. Come back to center. Plant the feet, palms face forward. Close the eyes once again. Reconnect with the breath. And then inhale the arms up and overhead. Flutter the eyes open. As you exhale, you'll sweep the arms down by the sides. You can exhale through the mouth. Inhale it all the way back up. Exhale. Take two more of those. Make it a big exhale. And then just let yourself hang, arms hang. And then one more time, sweep the arms out and up. Take the feet as wide as your mat. And then slowly begin to bend the knees, sitting in this wide-legged chair pose. Arms nice and high, heart shine forward. Holding here. Sitting as low as you can. Maybe that's up here. Maybe it's really low. And then wherever you are, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. You can use your hands if you need a little assistance in getting down. And then have both legs out long in front of you. Give the legs a little shake back and forth. And then bend that right leg in toward the body. You can either hug it close to the chest so that the foot is to the inside of the thigh, or you can have it nice and long so the foot is to the inside of the calf. The left leg will be flexed through the toes. Wherever you are, inhale the arms up and overhead, and then twist over toward the right, either hooking that leg or with your forearm or with the elbow. Twist through the core here. Inhale the arms up and overhead and bring the hands to the outside of the left thigh. Just taking a counter twist here, maybe feeling a little bit of stretch in the IT band. Keeping that long leg, toes flexed. And then come back to center and just switch legs. So the left foot comes in either to the inner thigh or the inner calf. And the right leg is nice and long with those toes flexed. So keep the bent knee tracking up toward the ceiling. Nice long spine, sweep the arms up and overhead. Twist over toward the bent knee, either hooking your forearm or your elbow. The goal here is really to twist through the core. So however you can do that, gaze wherever it's comfortable, either to the side or over the back shoulder. Stay nice and long through the spine. And then come back to center, sweep the arms around to the outer right thigh, flex through the toes of that straight leg. Maybe get a little stretch here, just as a little counter twist. Come back to center, both legs long in front of you, and then stretch them out wide into a wide-legged seat here. So however wide you can get your legs and still feel comfortable and sit up nice and tall. If you have a towel or blanket handy, you can always sit on that to help the hips just roll forward a little bit. No worries if you don't have that. From here, inhale the arms up and overhead, keeping the spine nice and tall. Hinge at the hips to fold forward. Find the fingertips on the mat in front of you. So just go forward as far as you can while keeping your back straight, not rounding through the spine. So if you're super flexy, maybe your belly touches the floor in front of you. Maybe you're almost seated tall like this. Wherever you are, that's great. Allow the breath to carry you just a little bit deeper. Feeling the stretch through the inner thighs. Keep those toes flexed. Just a couple more breaths here. And now round through the spine, drag the fingertips back in until you come up to seated. Head rolls up last. And then bring the legs out long in front of you. Give those legs a little shake. And then sweep them to one side. You'll find yourself in a tabletop position. Make sure that the wrists are below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. And take a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale to round the spine, drop the crown of the head. Take a couple of these at your own pace. Holding in any spot that feels especially good. Take one more round, and then come back to a neutral spine. And let's practice here, so you want to make sure that you stay lifted out of your shoulders for the next sequence that we're going to do. So you don't want to be dropped into the shoulders here. So press into the palms. Shoulder blades are nice and high. Fingertips are pressed into the mat. And then from here, bring the right arm out in front of you. Just finding your stability here. This is going to be a little bit of a balance challenge. So find your center line of gravity. Hold in here, get strong through the core, and then lower the right hand back to the mat as we move through the sequence. So you'll sweep the right arm up and the right leg back, finding this supported side angle. And then you'll come back to center, bringing the elbow and knee to meet. So sweep the right arm, right leg back, find a supported side angle. You can even bow through the ribs. Continue the circle of that right arm, right elbow and right knee meet. We'll take a few more rounds of this. Circle it back, find your side plank, bowing through the ribs, and then elbow and knee meet. 2 more. Sweep it back, elbow and knee meet. Last one. And then re-extend the right arm, right knee comes back to the mat, and send that left leg long behind you for a static bird dog. So again, strong through the core, flex through the left leg. Left hand and right knee are still on the mat. On the next exhale, bring the right elbow and left knee to meet under you, rounding through the spine. As you inhale, extend. 4 more. Exhale, elbow and knee meet. Inhale to extend. Exhale. Inhale, 2 more. We'll meet in that extended bird dog. And then bring the hand and the leg back to the mat. Rock the hips from side to side for just a moment. And then send the right leg long behind you. So we're moving from side to side to really flush the body, get the blood moving. Sweep the right leg through the hands to find yourself in a low lunge. So the right knee is bent, left leg is back. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Allow yourself to feel that sensation in the left hip flexor and use your core to help keep you lifted in this position. Exhale to reframe the front foot. Plant the left palm, right arm floats up to the sky. Gentle twist through the core. Bring the right arm down, replace the left hand so the right arm is to the inside of the right foot, and then twist the other way. Left arm floats up to the sky. Left hand replaces right, right arm floats to the sky, gentle twist. Right arm down, left hand up. One more time, left hand down, right arm up, moving that blood from side to side. Right arm down, left hand up. Bring both hands to the inside of the right foot, and then bring the right palm to the inside of the right thigh, twisting over to the right. Maybe you feel that twist in the lower back. As you twist back to center, reframe the right foot and just sweep it back into a tabletop pose. Once you get into your tabletop, find a cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale to round the spine, drop the head. I'm gonna switch to the other side as we move to the other side here. So we'll find our balance on the other side. So first, just send that left arm long in front of you. press into the right palm to find your center line of gravity here. And then bring the left palm back to the mat as we set up for that sequence on this side. So as the left arm floats up and over, the left leg floats back, finding that high plank. Ribs are bowed. And then elbow and knee come to meet underneath. Left arm, left leg float back and up. And then elbow and knee come to meet underneath. Trying to stay lifted out of that right shoulder as you move through this sequence. We'll take 2 more. Sweep it back and up, bowing through the ribs, side body stretch. Elbow and knee come to meet underneath. As with any pose in yoga, if there's any wobble, just embrace that wobble. You can always come back into the pose. Elbow and knee meet. And then send the limbs back to the mat. Give a little shake back and forth. Send the right leg back behind you. And the left arm long in front of you, finding this static bird dog here. Connecting with your breath as you engage through the core. Stay lifted out of the right shoulder. And then as you exhale, elbow and knee come to meet underneath. Inhale, extend. Exhale to meet. Inhale, extend. Exhale to meet. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale to meet. Final 1. We'll meet in that extended bird dog. And then send the limbs back to the mat. Rock the hips back and forth here. And we'll move back to that right leg long behind us. And I totally forgot what we did at this point, and usually there's someone in class to remind me. So I'm just gonna move on here today. So come back to your cat-cow and inhale to drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to round the spine, drop the head. Come back to neutral. We're gonna move to our first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, press the hips back and up. When you get to your down dog, maybe give a little pedal out here. Then find some stillness. So heels don't have to connect to the mat. You can have a slight bend in the knees or even a deep bend in the knees. The goal here is that the back is straight, the hips are nice and high. We're gonna take some waving dogs. Float forward into a plank pose. As you bend the knees, you'll just hover them up off the mat, use that core, and then send the belly back to the thighs. Find this pouncing position, and then release back into a downward facing dog. We'll take a few of these. Float forward into a plank pose. Hover the knees, belly back to thighs, release back into downward facing dog. Flowing through at your own pace. Take 1 more. Meeting back in downward facing dog, resetting those hips so they're nice and high. And then float forward into a plank pose. Lower down the knees, chest and chin, floating forward into a baby cobra. Untuck the toes and exhale to release. Bring the fingertips off the mat, coming into spider hands. And we'll take a few flows here. As you inhale, rise up. As you exhale, slowly wind down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. This time, as you inhale to rise, look over that left shoulder. Holding here. Come back through center, lower down. Inhale to rise, look over the right shoulder. And then slowly lower back down. Bring the hands back into chest height. Tuck the toes. Find yourself back in tabletop and then back in downward facing dog. Once again, pedaling it out here. From here, you'll sweep the right leg back behind you and bend the knee so that you're opening the hip here. Maybe give yourself some circles through the knee or through the ankle. Re-straighten that right leg and step it through in between the hands. Finding that low lunge and then drop the left knee down to the mat. So even right here, you're probably feeling a stretch in the left hip flexor. So send the breath to that spot. Toes can be tucked or they can be untucked, whatever you're feeling today. And then inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale to reframe the front foot. And you can either stay here or bend through the left leg and twist around, grabbing the left foot with the right hand. Again, wherever you are, allow the breath to guide you and calm you. If you've grabbed the foot, release it. Everyone will meet in that low lunge. Raise the left leg up off the mat and step it back into downward facing dog. Hips nice and high. Inhale the left leg back up behind you and bend the knee to open the hip. You can also do this with your knee dropped. Take some knee circles or ankle circles, kick it out, and then re-extend the left leg and step it through in between the hands. Lower the right knee down to the mat, finding that low supported lunge here. Feeling the stretch in the right hip flexor. Toes in the back can be tucked or untucked. Use the breath and the belly to rise up, arms up overhead. Nice and long through the spine. Lower the hands to reframe the foot. Once again, either stay here, or you can bend through the right leg, twist, grabbing the right foot with the left arm. Or maybe you're reaching for it, even if you can't reach it with your hand. Twist through the belly if you're twisted around. If you've reached for the foot, let it go. Reframe the front foot. Raise the right leg up off the mat, and this time step forward, finding yourself in a forward fold. Let the head and arms hang. You can give those wrists a little circling here, just a little stretch out. We've been on the wrists a lot. And then inhale to halfway lift. Fingertips come to upper shins. Back is straight. Exhale to lower down. Take one more of those. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to lower down. As you inhale this time, sweep the arms out to the side, up and overhead. Gaze can follow. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms out and up. And as you exhale, bend through the knees, come back into that chair pose. Stretch out through the fingertips, lots of energy coming out of the fingertips. Shine the heart forward by rolling the shoulders back. Allow the glutes to take some of the pressure off the thighs, so engage through the glutes. This is a whole body pose here. On your next exhale, press into the feet and rise all the way up. And then float forward, bending at the hips. Plant the fingertips and then just sit all the way down onto the mat. And then flip around, find yourself on your back. We're gonna do a little bit of ab work here before we kind of wrap up. So find yourself on your back with the knees facing the ceiling. Arms along by your side. So just take a few pelvic tilts here. So you'll tuck and release the pelvis. Here, what the goal really is that you are getting the sacrum and lower back down on the mat, and then you're really arching through. So you can see my hand is coming under, and then when I tuck my back onto the mat, my hand doesn't fit under there anymore. So just take a few of those. Feel the connection of your full spine on the mat when you get rid of that arch. Now you can probably already feel your abs working a little bit here. The next time your arch is gone, so your lower back is connected with the mat, stay there. And then raise your knees up to 90 degrees. You might even need to pull some flesh a little bit out of the way and reconnect a little bit more. So there's no air between your back and the mat. That means your abs are engaged, legs are at 90 degrees. Arms can be wherever they're comfortable at this point. And you'll slowly lower down your toes toward the mat, keeping this 90 degrees. And you want to come only low enough that you can keep your back connected with the mat. So your toes might tap the mat, or they might not. But the back is staying connected. And you'll move from side to side, lowering and raising that 90-degree angle down to the mat and back up. You can even touch your abs here. You'll feel that they are engaged. If this feels like too much on your lower back, you're feeling any pain, you can return to those pelvic tilts that we just did. That'll help to strengthen your core and your lower back. So slowly moving from side to side, toes down and up and down and up. If you'd like a little bit more challenge, you can move both legs at the same time. We'll stay here for a few more rounds, whether you're moving both legs or one leg, or you're in your pelvic tilts. Just take a couple more rounds. Finish the round you're on. We'll meet back with legs in 90 degrees. Or if you are doing pelvic tilts, then your soles of the feet will be on the mat. And then if your legs are in 90 degrees, flex through those toes, reconnect the back with the mat. And we're gonna take that same movement. You can start on the left side this time, but this time the heel will come down toward the mat. So we're just getting a little more in the hip flexor, but also just a different part of the abs. So lower the heels slowly down and up, and down and up. And again, if you'd like a little bit more, you can do both legs at a time. Wherever you are, you're focusing on the spine's connection with the mat. Take one more full round. When you finish that round, we'll meet back with soles of the feet on the mat. So everybody's knees are facing the ceiling. And then take a moment here to draw the knees into the chest. Maybe clasp the hands behind the thighs. This feels like a really relaxing pose to me. Childlike. Have the thighs into the belly. Give a little rock back and forth. And then wrap your hands around your calves or even behind your thighs. And you can give a little rock and roll back and forth. However you want to get there. This probably won't be very graceful. We're going to find ourselves back in downward facing dog. You can also just roll to one side or choose any transition to get to your downward facing dog. Once again, repose your dog by sending the hips high to the sky, flat back, heels track toward the mat, even if they're nowhere close to touching. And then sweep the right leg back up behind you. Exhale as you step it through in between your hands. Plant the left palm, right arm floats up to the sky. You'll find a twist here. And then reframe that front foot. All right, you're gonna pay attention here because this one can get a little funky. So come to the outer edge of your right foot. So you can touch the outer edge of your right foot and then find yourself on the outer edge of your right foot. And then find yourself on the outer edge of your left foot. So the right sole of the foot is facing the center of the mat. The left sole of the foot is facing the back of the mat. I'm going to show you this from behind. Then you'll sweep the right arm up and overhead. And we're going to take some hip dips here. So as you exhale, that arm comes down, hips come down. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to rise up. Two more. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Holding here in the twist, you're still on the outer edges of both of your feet. And then you can reframe that front foot, tuck the back toes, and rise up into a crescent lunge. Hold here, bend through that front knee. And then reframe the front foot. Step back into plank pose here. And you can either hold here in plank or flow through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Rising up into baby cobra. Exhale it back. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Pedal it through. Reconnect with the breath. Take an inhale through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. Take another one of those. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale the left leg back up behind you. Exhale to step it through in between your hands. Find that low lunge. And then plant the right palm. Left arm floats up to the sky. Gentle twist. Reframe the front foot. And then come to the outer edge of the left foot. So the left sole of the foot faces the center of your mat. And then come to the outer edge of your right foot. Plant the right palm. Left arm floats up to the sky. As you exhale, arm floats back, hips lower down toward the mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Two more. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Last one. Exhale to lower. And inhale to rise. Reframe that front foot. Retuck the back toes. And rise up into your crescent lunge. Connect with the breath. And then reframe that front foot. Step back into downward facing dog. And final option for a vinyasa here. Flow through, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up to baby cobra. And as you exhale, we'll meet back in child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, arms out long in front of you, or you can sweep them down by the sides. Child's pose can be another great place for a blanket to tuck in between your calves and thighs. And rise back up into tabletop. And like we did waving dogs, we'll take some waving cat-cows here. As you inhale, you'll drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, round through and press back into a modified child's pose. So toes are wide. Inhale to rise up. Cow. And then round the spine, press back into child's pose. One more as you rise up, you'll find yourself in cow. And then round through the spine, press back toward the heels. One more time to rise up to a neutral spine. And then just find yourself in a comfortable seated position. So if you want to come to sit up on a blanket, or if you don't have a blanket handy, you can roll the end of your mat and sit up on that, or you can just find a comfortable seat with your own flesh. So I did build this as a relaxing flow, but I think it's super important to get some of that heat moving, that blood moving. So you all did an amazing job from afar. I know that you tried your best, even if you didn't feel like you did every pose perfectly. Who does? So we'll get into the neck a little bit, into the arms, to really slow it down here before Shavasana. So send the arms long to a T, fingertips nice and wide like jazz hands. And then drop the head over to the right. Once again, getting that stretch in the side neck. Keep the shoulders low here, so bring them away from the ears. And then sweep the head, once again, down to the center, getting the stretch in the back of the neck. And then over to the other side, over to the left shoulder. And then we're gonna move again back and forth, but as the head goes over toward the right, flip the left palm toward the back of the room. And then back through center, flipping the palms the opposite way. It just gives a little bit different of a sensation as you move the neck from side to side. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Take one more round. And then come back to center, both palms flip forward. Rise the head up, sweep the arms up and overhead, and clasp the fingertips up overhead. Then flip the palms toward the ceiling. Get nice and strong through the side body and through the arms, so there's no bend in the elbow if possible. And then as you exhale, you'll bend through the elbows, bringing the back of the hands toward the head. Inhale up, nice and strong. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, stay here, straighten through the arms if you need a reminder, and then bend over toward the right. Coming back through center, bend over toward the left. Back through center. Sweep the arms down by the sides. And then sweep the left arm up and overhead. Once again, finding that side body stretch. You can bend the arm that's on the ground. Gaze can be under the elbow or down toward the mat. Rise back up to center. Take the stretch on the other side. Right arm up and overhead. Back up through center. We'll take it over with the left arm up and overhead, and then you're gonna sweep forward and around. And then sweep it back, forward, up and around. Moving at your own pace, back and forth, just letting the fingertips sweep on the ground. And when you rise up, getting that stretch in the side body and shining the heart forward. And then just finish up by evening out the sides and rise all the way up. Take a moment here to bring the soles of the feet together. Heels can be close to the body or they can be far away. You can have blankets underneath your knees. We won't be here for too long. Move some of that flesh out of the way in the back so that your sits bones are fully connected. We'll get just a little final opening in our hips here in the inner thighs. Shine the heart forward and then bring the hands to the ankles. We'll take some seated cat-cows here. Inhale to shine the heart forward, bend the elbows. Exhale to round the spine, straighten the arms. Inhale forward. And exhale, round. 2 more. Then rise back up with a straight spine. Staying in Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. Arms come up and overhead, reaching long out of the crown of the head. And then twist over toward the right. So the left palm finds the right knee as you do a twist through the core here. Back hand can be used as a kickstand, and gaze can go wherever it's comfortable, wherever it feels relaxing for you. Come back through center, arms up and overhead, and take that twist to the other side. Come back through center. Use your hands to help your knees back up toward the ceiling. And then once again, lower yourself all the way down on the mat. Bring the knees back to 90 degrees. And then drop the knees over toward the left. Arms can be out long in a T or in cactus. Wherever you are, try to keep the shoulders melting down toward the mat as you take this gentle twist, one of our final poses of this practice. Come back through center, knees at 90 degrees, and then just rock yourself over to the other side. Come back through center, hug the knees into the chest, and you can either stay here or reach for the outer edges of the feet to come into Hatha. Wherever you are, you might want to give yourself a little rock from side to side. And if there's any final pose or shape that you would like to take, now's the time. And whenever you're ready, you can release yourself back into Shavasana. Legs nice and long, arms wide. Close the eyes. We'll spend a couple minutes here before we end today's practice together. So once you find yourself in Shavasana, allow the head to melt into the mat, allowing it to be heavy and fully supported. Let the eyes be heavy in the sockets. Unhinge the jaw. Shoulders melted into the mat, maybe even rolling them under just a little bit to shine that heart upwards. Arms and hands release. Pelvis and hips are heavy. Legs are externally rotated and feet splay out. Returning to your natural inhale and exhale, and allowing the body, even if just for a moment, to be free of stress and tension. Allow the attention to return to your breath. On your next inhale, fully fill that belly up, and you can let a gentle exhale out through the mouth. Bring some movement to the fingertips and toes. Gently rock the head from side to side. And take any other movement here that your body is calling for. When you're ready, roll over to one side into a fetal position. Eventually, we'll all meet in a seated position, eyes closed, hands at the heart center. Always moving slowly and mindfully through these transitions. And if you aren't already in a seated position, move toward that spot. We'll end the class with 3 deep inhales and open mouth exhales. And as you inhale, you'll sweep the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, open mouth, the hands will come back through heart center. So allow these final breaths to really release anything that you're still holding on to so that you can leave the mat fully restored. Inhale. Final one, make it good. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Namaste.